All right, I'm down here on the field at Maryvale Baseball Park. Ronnie Stiegel, the manager of the Houston A's. And Ronnie, talking about the 2010 World Series team, what are some of the strengths of your club this year?
Pitching, we have some pitching. Today you're going to get to see Mr. Stan Forbes, number 34, formerly of the Houston Baseball Club. They didn't want him. We dang sure took him, and he's going to be a treat for these guys.
How about the defense this year? I know that's always a part of the game that's so vital. You got 6 games in 4 days here.
Okay, yesterday caught us again. 6 errors, routine plays. We're going to try to eliminate them. We got a good pitcher. We need to make those plays that are just the routine plays. That's all we have to do.
How does your pitching staff line up for the rest of the week?
We're looking good. I got started for the second game today, Doug Thompson. And Stan might go again tomorrow, depends on how he feels, or Keith Larson.
Buddy Graves, there's been some question about his physical characteristics, whether he's gained weight or lost weight, shaved his head. What's the status with him? Are you expecting a big series out of the great Buddy Graves?
Really am. He's gained a little weight. He's a little chunky, but he can still play ball, and he's hitting that ball. Yeah. Playing some good defense, so, yeah, we expect big things.
Expecting maybe an MVP at the end of the week?
Very possible. Very possible. He's that good.
Because I was going to make one comment about Buddy, and I'll mention it throughout the game, is he seems like he's a better player this year.
The man has his head together, period. Yep.
Well, that's going to wrap it up down here at Maryvale Baseball Park. We're getting set for MSBL action, and we'll have the action coming up next on APN Sports. You're getting a wide shot at Maryvale Baseball Park, the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers, but today it's home to the 2010 MSBL World Series as the Houston A's and the Halo Angels collide in 45 and over Wood Cactus League play. I'm Jeff Lowry, so glad you could join us, and welcome to Baseball and APN Sports. Of course, the A's come out a very talented team. They are led by Stan Forbes, their starting pitcher. You get a look at some of the stars, including Doug Thompson and Tracy Yamamoto. On the other side of the field, the Angels come in, a 1-0 record. They'll have Donald Colley getting the start. And David Lieberman, their outstanding leadoff man, along with their club manager, Gaston Escudero. So these two teams are set to go. It's a 9:30 a.m. start time. Our game time official, there's Rod Shipman. He is the general manager of the Angels. Our game time temperature, 69 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona. As Ronnie Stiegel on the right, the manager of the A's, he's done a great job with the program, but they've got to improve on their defense if they're going to beat Gaston Escudero's Halo Angels out of California. So we're set for big league MSBL baseball action here from Maryvale Baseball Park, and we'll be back with the first pitch and the play-by-play in just a moment.
Let's take the field here.
Let's have some fun, huh? Hey guys, Halo's on
Hey,
boys.
take a deep breath. Relax. Play it. There you go. Go.
All right, we'd like to welcome you back to Maryvale Baseball Park. We're just moments away from the first pitch, and towing the rubber here today for Gaston Escudero and Rod Shipman's team is going to be right-hander Donald Colley. And they are expecting him to go very deep into this ball game. This is the second game for both clubs, and we're getting set to go. Buddy Graves will lead things off. He'll be followed by Freddie Stewart and Doug Thompson. First pitch of the contest is over for a called strike, and this game is underway. Our game time temperature here at Maryvale Stadium, 69 degrees. And quickly 0-2 is the count on leadoff hitter Buddy Graves, one of the premier players both offensively and defensively, in this 45 and over Wood Cactus League. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Buddy. A swing and a miss at a good sinking pitch, and that's out number 1 and the first strikeout for Donald Colley. That'll bring up the Houston A's center fielder, Freddie Stewart. Stewart takes the first pitch, and it's in there for a called strike, 0-1. Stewart brings a lot of speed, a little athleticism to this Houston A's lineup. Of course, he's the starting center fielder. And he lines one up the middle, but flared by the second baseman. That's David Lieberman, who throws him out at first on a fine play. 2 down in the inning, and let's give you the defense. Williams at first, Lieberman at second base on your screen. The shortstop is Aboitis. Hayes is at third. Pettit is in left, Mitchell center, Torres right, with Brad Campbell doing the catching. Brad Campbell Soup. Gaston Escudero is the bench coach and for this Halo baseball team, and the overall manager or general manager of the team is Rod Shipman. So I'll bring up third place hitter Doug Thompson. Thompson takes a good fastball by Colley for a strike. Thompson and Larson to follow. Top of the first inning. And Colley has fallen behind for the first time in this inning. 3 balls and a strike. Here's a swing and a high fly ball, shallow center. Coming on is Tony Mitchell. He's got it. And a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Donald Colley and the Halo Angels. After a half an inning of play, the A's nothing and the Angels coming up. You're getting a look at the right-hander, and he's a good one, Stan Forbes. And I would imagine that if this game doesn't get out of hand, you're going to see a lot of innings out of these two guys. The importance of getting a lot of innings early in the tournament can give the manager a lot of flexibility getting into those later games if you're trying to position for a playoff spot. And a wide shot of the defensive alignment. Lieberman, the second baseman, will lead things off. He'll be followed by Aboitis, and then Fred Hayes, and then Raul Pettit, or Petit, to follow. So here's Lieberman, the second baseman. Outstanding leadoff hitter, the first pitch. Up and in for ball 1. Defensively, Larson at first, Buddy Graves at second, Coleman is at shortstop, Beebe at third, Reinfeld in left, Stewart center, and the veteran Bruce Jensen in right. Ryder is doing the catching. As we mentioned, Stan Forbes on the mound. A ball and a strike to the Angels' leadoff hitter, David Lieberman. The right-hander with a long pause. He rocks and kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. And the count is quickly a ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitting second baseman. On this October 25th, 2010. Glad you could join us for MSBL World Series action. A fastball that ate up Lieberman, and down he goes, and that's out number 1. And the batter is going to be shortstop Robert Aboitis. There's a look at Buddy Graves patrolling out at second base. So with 1 down, Aboitis, the shortstop. Well, you know, you got to keep these front 2 guys off the base paths. Outstanding base runners. Both players have good on-base percentage. They know how to get on base with great regularity. That breaking ball stays upstairs. Robert Aboitis. Rod Shipman said that he is one of the key players to our success. And all he expects from his second-place hitting shortstop is to play solid defense and find a way to get on base as much as possible. Beyond that, if he does that, this team's in good shape. Here's a high fly ball fouling out of play. An overcast morning, though the sun's now trying to peek through this hazy overcast sky we have here at Maryville Baseball Park. This is the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers, and the two-strike pitch is lifted in the air. Back a second. Buddy Graves drifts out, and he's got it. Well, you got to see some of the range of Buddy Graves right off the bat, and there's 2 down in the inning, and the batter is going to be Fred Hayes. Freddie Mays Hayes, not to be confused with Willie Mays Aikens or Willie Mays or probably even Vladimir Guerrero. Here's the first pitch, and it's in there for a called strike, and he's down 0-1. Raul Petit is on deck. Hammered foul. Boy, I'll tell you, that was a rocket. Came all the way out to the first base bag where it was corralled by first baseman Keith Larson. 2 strikes on the third place hitter. And this one off the fist, and racing in is Graves, and he's got it. And a 1-2-3 inning for Stan Forbes. So 6 up, 6 down. At the end of 1, it's the A's nothing and the Angels likewise. Again, a wide shot of this beautiful facility that was opened up in, I believe it was 1998, the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 4, 5, and 6 for the Houston A's, led by their manager, Ronnie Stiegel. And speaking of which, Stiegel will be the second place hitter, but first Keith Larson, the cleanup hitter for the Houston A's. It'll be Larson, Stiegel, and Jensen, and Grant Beebe should they get that far. Here's a smash right back to the pitcher, and he makes a tremendous play, a self-defensive play, I would imagine, as that line drive was heading right towards his head, and he lifted the glove up and made the catch, slightly off balance, but what a tremendous play by Donald Colley. That'll bring up designated hitter Ronnie Stiegel. And the first pitch to the manager of the A's, and he's going to get hit. And that is the first base runner of the contest. So Stiegel heads down to first base, representing the first run of the ball game. And now maybe their best all-around player, Bruce Jensen. And Bruce paid me extra to say that. Actually, I'm just kidding. But actually, to be honest, Bruce Jensen is one of the best players on this team. Excellent hitter. Does a fine job on the mound. Has a good glove at first base normally, but he's getting the start out in right field. A ball and a strike to the Houston A's right fielder. He's a left-hander all the way. He was a little tardy at a fastball that was up in the strike zone. A ball and 2 strikes on Bruce Jensen with Ronnie Stiegel at first and 1 out. He stays alive as he fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the second inning, no score. And Bruce Jensen hanging tough up there with 2 strikes. You get a look at Grant Beebe on deck. And again, he fouls one back and out of play. Top half of the second, no score. Runner at first with 1 out. And the pitch is inside, and I believe it got Jensen. So Colley has hit the last 2 hitters that he has faced, and here is Grant Beebe. Takes the first pitch, high, ball 1. That's going to prompt a visit from his catcher, Brad Campbell. He's hit the last 2 batters that he's faced, and he leaves that first pitch to Grant Beebe a little high. Comes back with a strike, and it's 1-1. Grant Beebe, a guy that, as we were talking about, Boydus maybe for the Halo baseball team, Beebe is a key component to any success that this Houston A's team will have this year. You know, they need good defense. He needs to anchor that hot corner down at third, and you know he brings a lot of speed to the base paths, and they can do a lot of things. I mean, with Jensen and Beebe there hitting in that 6 and 7 position, that really stretches out this lineup for Ronnie Stiegel. The two-strike pitch. Beebe grounds one, and a fair ball down the line, or is it foul? Just foul. Boy, that looked close, and it didn't miss by much. So Beebe will, who seems like he might be right on Donald Colley here. Let's see what happens. Ronnie Stiegel out at second base, takes a big lead. The next pitch is lifted in the air down the left field line, and it's going to drift into the seats out of play. Ready with the next two-strike pitch, and that is ball four, and the bases are loaded. So Colley hits Stiegel, he hits Jensen, and he walks Beebe. All this after one out, and that prompts Rod Shipman to come out to the mound. 350 down the left field line here at Maryville Baseball Park. It kind of some bandbox dimensions down the left field line. Then it goes out to 364. Then better than 400 to that gap in right center field. 350 down the right field line. Now the batter is going to be number 44. I believe this is Bennett Fisher. This is a huge at-bat here for the Halo Angels and their starting pitcher, Donald Colley. We are in the top of the second inning. The bases are loaded with one out. And here's a looper past the second baseman. It drops him for a base hit. Here comes Mitchell's throw to the plate. It's going to be cut off. And what a job there as Stiegel comes around to score an RBI single for Bennett Fisher, and it's 1-0 as the A's draw first blood. That's going to bring up Elliot Reinfeld, starting left fielder, batting in the 9A position. And he grounds one in the hole. It's going to be knocked down by the third baseman. He goes the short route to second. His throw to first is not in time. So Elliott drives in a run on a 5-4 fielder's choice. Runners will be at first and third with two out, and here's Brant DeVerne. 2-0 Houston A's here in the top half of the second inning on a two-run inning, all led by a couple of hit batsmen and a walk, and only one base hit for the A's, but they're getting the job done. They lead 2-0. Here's a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop flares it. Aboitis to second, and that is that. 6-4 fielder's choice ends a two-run inning for the Houston A's. After an inning and a half of baseball, it's the A's 2 and the Angels nothing. Raul will start things off here. And he hits a high chopper towards a shortstop, cut off by Beebe at third, and his throw to first is in time, out number one. Well, a fine defensive play by the Houston third baseman. Out number one here in the inning, and now the batter is going to be the first baseman, Dan Williams. Fifth place hitter in the lineup for the Angels. First pitch, high and tight, ball one. Williams, an outstanding glove down at first base and a guy that hits particularly well with runners in scoring position. But in this situation, nobody on with one out. We're in the home half of the second inning. The A's lead 2-0. Second inning of work for starting pitcher and right-hander Stan Forbes. On deck, Gaston Escudero, the bench coach for the Halo Angels. Williams taking all the way. Now digs back in, a slightly open stance. High fly ball into left field. This is playable for Reinfeld, 2 down. So now Escudero, as I just mentioned, the bench coach. And this is a guy who really loves to surf. Got really a sweet swing, and he'll go with that slightly open stance, much like you saw out of Dan Williams. The first pitch to him is lifted in the air down the left field line. It's deep. Reinfeld will not have a play on it as it goes out of play, 0-1. Next pitch is outside, a ball and a strike to Escudero. Donald Colley, the starting pitcher, is on deck for the Halo Baseball Angels. Home half of the second, A's lead 2-0. Forbes kicks and deals, and Escudero was all over that pitch and fouled it straight back. Good line drive hitter, hits for average, hits for extra base hits. Probably won't hit one 450 feet, but all in all, a good line drive hitter. The 2-strike pitch is swung on and bounced foul, third base side. 2 out here in the bottom of the second. Escudero trying to extend this second inning, maybe get a 2-out rally going for his Angels. As he bats in that 6th position. Forbes needs a strike here to end the inning, and the 2-strike pitch is popped up, straight back, and out of play. And a look at the Halo Baseball Angels. Rod Shipman, the general manager of this team, at the top of the screen. 2-strike pitch again to Escudero, and that one is in the dirt. A good eye. A lot of hitters will offer at that pitch, but he showed a lot of patience, and he's been fighting off some tough fastballs, and he has run the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Forbes looks in for the sign. They set up on the outside part of the plate with his catcher Ryder, and he struck him out swinging. The tag will be made by Ryder, and the inning is over. 6 up, 6 down. And a good start for Stan Forbes and the Houston A's. After 2, they lead it 2-0. Shortstop Sean Coleman will lead things off here for the Houston A's. Top half of the 3rd inning. And the 3rd inning of work for starting pitcher Donald Colley. Coleman, a long-time member of this Houston A's team and one of the mainstays. Houston scored twice in the 2nd inning. A couple of hit batsmen, a walk, a single by Bennett Fisher, and a fielder's choice by Reinfeldt. Here's a ground ball to Aboitis, and he takes care of business by throwing Sean Coleman out at first base, and there's 1 down. 28 to the bottom. They are adding number 28, Herb Goodwin, to the bottom of the lineup. So Goodwin is up there, and so many times you get a guy with good speed and good on-base percentage. A lot of managers like putting them at the bottom of the lineup. As the United States Air Force flies over, here's a drive into right field and caught by Bill Torres, 2 down. Nice running catch coming in on a sinking low-line drive off the bat of Herb Goodwin. 2 down, we go back to the top of the Houston lineup, and Buddy Graves, the second baseman. Graves takes a breaking ball, and it's ball 1. Colley winds, kicks, and deals. 2 balls and no strikes to the Houston A's leadoff hitter, who struck out back in the 1st inning. The 2-0 pitch, grounded hard, but right at the shortstop. Aboitis stays down on it. His throw to first, low, but scooped out by Dan Williams. The side is retired. 3 up, 3 down. 5 in a row set down by Donald Colley. We're heading to the home half of the 3rd inning from Maryvale. The A's lead the Angels 2-0. Ronnie Stiegel, the manager of the Houston A's, looking on. Our thanks to him for calling us once again this year. And, of course, Mr. Rod Shipman. We did a game for them a few years ago back at Grand Canyon University, and certainly good to see a lot of the players on his team again. And we hope you guys enjoy the DVDs as well as the Houston people. So here's Colley, starting pitcher, and Stan Forbes now in his 3rd inning of work. Colley, Torres, and Campbell. Maryvale Baseball Park, the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers. The right-hander looks in, and the first pitch of the home half of the 3rd inning is popped up down the right field line, and that is out of play. 0-1. Hit into the air, center field. This ball will drop in front of Stewart for a base hit. That is the first base runner of the contest for the Angels. And now we've got a discussion with the home plate umpire and Gaston Escudero, and I'm really not sure what this is about. Well, we was trying to pull up the audio there so you could hear what they were saying. It was something to do with the courtesy runner situation. So we come back to our live action here. Bill Torres, the right fielder, comes to the plate. First time up for him. Bottom half of the third. A's lead at 2-0. Torres made a fine catch on a sinking line drive off the bat of Herb Goodwin in the top half of this third inning. 2 balls, no strikes to him. So Donald Colley, a first base hit, the first runner of the contest for the Angels, stands at first. That one is high and inside. 3 balls and no strikes as Ryder has a little trouble finding the baseball. Catcher Brad Campbell is on deck. Right-hander with a long look. And now we'll bring this pitch plateward, and it is in there for a strike, so he stays alive on Bill Torres. 3 balls and 1 strike. Needs a strike. And a line drive down the right field line, and it's going to be first and third. Bill Torres has the second straight single, the first 2 hits of the ball game, and an outstanding job of hitting. And now the catcher is Brad Campbell. So the tying runs are aboard, and we'll see how aggressive Rod Shipman is going to be. Let's see if he sends that runner at first. Ryder's a pretty good catcher. He's got a solid arm. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. With Tony Mitchell, the Angels center fielder, on deck. 2 on with nobody out. Angels trail 2-0, but they're mounting a comeback here in the home half of the third inning. Swing and a foul evens the count at a ball and a strike. Campbell just a good all-around ball player. You got 2 of the premier catchers, I think, in this 45 Wood Cactus League with John Ryder and Brad Campbell in this contest. In the air, and that is going to be just foul. Hold on a second. The pitch. High and away. Houston comes in with a record of 0-1. They lost to Westchester Mets 11-5 over at Red Mountain number 3 yesterday morning, while the Halo Angels easily disposed of the Roadrunners as the runner takes off for second, and he's going to get the stolen base. So now they are at second and third. So the Angels come in here with a 1-0 record. Second and third, nobody out. Bottom half of the third inning, the Angels need 2 to equalize, and here's a high fly ball on the infield, a pop-up. The first baseman cannot make the play. And I believe that is Bennett Fisher. And we'll see if that one comes back to haunt the Houston A's. That's a play that he should have made. And a lot of times they tell you to run as far as you can or run to the railing as that ball is swung over and missed. A huge strikeout for Stan Forbes. So it doesn't matter now that the ball wasn't caught over there, but a lot of times as Tony Mitchell comes to the plate and takes a first pitch strike, it's 0-1. You know, you're kind of taught to run over to the railing and then kind of maneuver from there. That ball wasn't hit all that high, so I don't know if he really had a chance to do that. Boy, a high and tight pitch that time. A ball and a strike on Tony Mitchell. You got speed. With Tony Mitchell, you got the ability to get on base in so many different ways with this guy. And he lines one into left field. That is going to break the ice for the Angels. They're going to wave the second runner home. Escudero being very aggressive and ending up at second base on the throw to the plate is Tony Mitchell. And this game is tied on a 2-run single. We go back to the top of this Angels lineup, and here's David Lieberman, a strikeout victim in the first. So a clutch 2-run single here for Tony Mitchell. Here's a bunt, and that's foul and out of play. Stan Forbes dealing with one out and a runner at second. That runner at second is the go-ahead run, and here's a smash foul down the left field line. 2 strikes on David Lieberman. Bats here in the home half of the third. 2 runs are in, and a 2-2 tie. The Angels and the A's. Western Division, American League Western Division action. That is low. Did Lieberman go around? I thought maybe Ryder would appeal that play. As you get a look at the base runner situation here at Maryville Baseball Park. The 2-strike pitch to Lieberman. On its way from Forbes, and he struck him out for the second time this morning. That is strikeout number 4 for Stan Forbes. 2 down in the inning, and shortstop Robert Aboitis. The first pitch to the Angels shortstop. In the air, center field. This is a long run as shortstop Coleman could not make a play. 1 run will score, and the Angels now have a 3-2 lead, their first lead of the contest, on an RBI single to center field by Robert Aboitis. Boy, we talked about the importance of this guy getting on base, making things happen, and playing good, solid defense. He's going to be one of the MVPs before this tournament is over, at least for the Angels. So now Freddie Mays Hayes, and he takes the first pitch into dirt ball 1. So a 3-run inning for the Angels, and they lead it 3-2 here in the bottom half of the third. Hayes levels the bat a couple of times, a classic straight up and down stance, and he goes opposite field, and the right fielder and could not make the play. Bruce Jensen, as that ball gets away, and this may produce another run. Here comes the runner to third, and the run will score, and it is now a 4-2 ball game. Clutch hit by Fred Hayes going opposite field. A valiant effort by the Houston right fielder Bruce Jensen as he dove but could not come up with it. So back-to-back RBI hits, and now the ball gets away from John Ryder. No one is covering the plate, and the run will score. That'll be a triple by Hayes. He'll score on a wild pitch, and it's a 5-run third. And right now, if you're Ronnie Stiegel, you're got to be saying, look, let's just stop the bleeding right here. We're fine. We're only down 3. Here's a drive to left, and this will retire the side. The catch is made. The inning is over. But 5 big runs come across for the Angels, and at the end of 3, it's the Angels 5 and the A's 2. A wide shot of Maryville Baseball Park, the winter home of the Brewers. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Ronnie Stiegel. In the Houston A's, it'll be center fielder Freddie Stewart. Of course, Freddie's not in center field anymore. They look like they moved Tracy Yamamoto over there. There's a pop-up back at first. Williams, a long run, showing off some good wheels over there, but ran out of real estate. It's a foul ball on Freddie Stewart. He'll be followed by Thompson and Larson. Here's a shot over the head of the shortstop, and it's going to drop in for a leadoff single. So Houston looking to counter a 5-run home half of the third inning by the Halo Baseball Angels, and here is Doug Thompson, their outstanding third-place hitter. He flied to center field to end the first inning. A beautiful morning, even though we've got an overcast skies above. 69 degrees was our first pitch game time temperature. Brought to you by the King of Beers, the great German lager Budweiser. That's kind of amazing. You know, Budweiser sold out. Wasn't it a German, I want to say a German company or a Dutch company, somewhere up there in Central Europe, one of those countries, and yet their slogan is the Great American Lager. I don't know if that, well, it always has been, but they still brew here, I guess. Beautiful pitch that time by Donald Colley. And this ball gets away from the catcher, allowing Stewart to move up 90 feet into scoring position. So a wild pitch. And now Thompson draws a walk. The first two have reached. This is the first inning that Houston has had the leadoff hitter aboard, let alone the first two guys to come to the plate have reached. And now let's see how Keith Larson, their cleanup hitter, plays it. Nobody out, first and second. He's not squaring. He's up there hacking, and a swing and a miss. He knew he got a good pitch to hit. He was a little upset with himself. 0-1 is the count on Larson. And he got another right down Main Street, 0-2. Man, you hate to waste those kind of pitches. Got another one. And still 0-2. You might see Colley throw this one a little out of the strike zone. He paints the outside corner in a beauty. Caught looking, his second strikeout of the contest. He's hit two, he has walked two. That is the first out of the inning, and now let's see if Ronnie Stiegel has a clutch hit in that bat. It's a big inning here for Houston. They need to get at least a run or two in. And the first pitch is left upstairs, ball one. Stiegel, an outstanding line drive hitter. Loves the game of baseball. He is 1-1 here. Ronnie pops it up. This is playable for the catcher as Brad Campbell gets rid of the gear and takes care of business. I like the way he handled that pop-up. 2 down. Turned his back to the infield. You don't see too many catchers out here do that. That's the proper way to do it. And here is Bruce Jensen popping it up to the third baseman. So the Angels and Colley get out of the inning after the first two reach. A strikeout of Larson, and he induces Stiegel and Jensen to pop out. Sean Coleman back at shortstop as we head now to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Angels with a 3-run, 5-2 lead. Williams, Escudero, and Colley will be the first three to face Stan Forbes, inning number 4 for Ronnie Stiegel, starting pitcher for the Houston A's. I think the first time we produced a play-by-play video for the Houston A's. I think you got to go back a little ways. As Williams is up there, he flied to left his first time up. This outstanding first baseman fouling it off his instep. And it was not a pretty game. And it's one probably that I'm sure Ronnie Stiegel would like to forget. As Forbes brings this ball plateward, that one is in the dirt. And it was a game in which there was a guy named Montgomery. I forgot it. Darren Montgomery. I'll never forget it. The guy looked like Oral Hershiser. Had the same delivery. There's a swing and a miss. And Williams goes down. The catcher threw down to third, and then the third baseman had the fire on to first and Doug Thompson. And a heads-up play by Doug, and he got the man out. So strikeout number 5 for Stan Forbes. John Ryder said, hey, I had a senior moment there. Now Gaston Escudero takes a first pitch inside for ball 1. Gaston struck out back in the second inning. I'll tell you, the players that we've seen, you got to like the way this guy has the approach to the plate, though. He probably wished he had laid off that breaking ball. Forbes looks like, it's hard to tell from up here, but it looks like he's got a pretty good sinker. Gaston swung over that sinker a couple of times in his first at-bat, which eventually became a strikeout for Stan Forbes. Right-hander kicks and deals. Boy, just an unhittable pitch right there. At the knees, outside corner. 2-strike pitch. Strike 3 called. He got him. They'll have to throw it down to first, and strikeout number 6 for Stan Forbes. There's 2 down in the Angels inning, and now the pitcher is Donald Colley coming up to the plate. But anyway, it was a game, and this was the first time that we did a game for the A's, and they got beat pretty resoundly as this is grounded to the right side, and the inning is over. 3 up and 3 down. A good job by Stan Forbes as he heads towards the Houston dugout. We have 4 in the book, and it is 5-2 in favor of the Angels. It will be Grant Beebe, Bennett Fisher, I believe, and Elliot Reinfeldt. Angels scored all 5 of their runs in the home half of the third. The A's scored both of their runs in the second. Grant Beebe helped lead to those 2 runs by drawing a walk in the second inning. That's the only time he's been to the plate. But getting back to my story, they lost, and I don't remember the score. I mean, it was big. I mean, we're talking 18, 20 runs, something like that. As this ball's hit the short, here's Aboitis, a long throw, and he got it. Holy cow, what a play at shortstop by Robert Aboitis. And you can hang a star on that one. So 1 down, and here is Bennett Fisher. He's first pitch, grounds one to Aboitis. Making the routine plays, making the tough plays, 2 outs. And the catcher, John Ryder, stands in. Takes the fastball high and away. And I'll tell you, it was really tough calling that game because it was one-sided, and I can tell you the other team did not buy. They didn't buy any of the tapes, and Ronnie had purchased quite a few. I think, in fact, bought one for everybody, and then to have a game like that, and it was a challenge. But I really appreciate because a lot of teams, as John Ryder has just worked a 2-out walk. And now Tracy Yamamoto is a scheduled hitter. Colley has walked now 3 in the game. He's also hit 2. He has struck out a couple. Yamamoto batting for the first time takes a strike. But I really appreciated Ronnie and the years they've had us do their games because a lot of teams that get a blowout like that, we don't hear from them again. And that might be because those are the toughest games to call. Here's a fly ball hit well to deep right field, and that's over the head of the right fielder. The center fielder had to come all the way over to corral it, and the runners are at second and third. Here comes the throw to the plate, holding up John Ryder. And now they got the runner caught at third, but he dives back safe. Ryder's slow to get up. Runners are at second and third. And now the batter is Bob Elias. So just to sum that up, we really appreciate Ronnie for the years of business he's given us here, and what a job by the Halo Angels. They get out of the inning unscathed. They had 2 on with 2 out, and we are halfway through this morning affair from the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers. Good job by David Lieberman. And at the end of 4.5, 5-2 Angels. And you're watching the 2010 MSBL World Series on APN Sports. We're in the 45-plus Wood Cactus League division play. League or division? I'm not really sure what I guess they call it division. It sounds better if you say league. And then you're the league champion if you win this thing, or you're national. I guess you're national champions, right? So here's Bill Torres. He'll start things off. He'll be followed by Brad Campbell and Tony Mitchell. Jeff Lowry with you from Maryvale. Second game for both these teams. The Angels 1-0. The A's dropping their first game to usually a pretty tough Westchester Mets ball club. That Westchester Mets team, I can remember calling some of their games back in the mid-'90s. And APN Sports started our coverage of this tournament back in 1998. There's Rod Shipman coaching at first base. Ball 4. So a good start. Bill Torres, boy, having a fine game so far. A base hit, a stolen base, a run scored. Add a walk to his resume and a nice catch on a sinking line drive back in the second inning. Here's Campbell, the catcher, grounds one down to third. Thompson, the second, and there'll be no throw. It was dropped down there on the exchange. And so they get the out at second. On the fielder's choice, it goes 5-4, and here's Tony Mitchell, who had a big 2-run single back in that third inning. Mitchell takes upstairs for ball 1. 69 degrees, our game time temperature, humidity 56%, the dew point at 55. We'd like to thank Dave Muncy over at the Fox 10 Weather Center for the temperature and our current weather conditions here in the greater Phoenix area. A ball and a strike as you look at Stan Forbes pitching to Tony Mitchell. The runner goes, it's bunted straight up into the air and right over the head of John Ryder, out of play, 1-2. Runner at first is Brad Campbell. One down, a 1-2 count on the final hitter in the lineup for the Angels. Batting here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, the Angels lead at 5-2. That one is high and tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes. It's a hit and run. Grounded to Buddy Graves at second, and the throw in time. Boy, you just don't like seeing that. And I know it's so tempting. You want to beat that throw out so bad, but, oh, Tony, don't do that. Please don't do that. I've seen guys get hurt. Kenny Lofton will tell you don't do it. He went head first and messed up and was out for the rest of the playoff series. I think it was in '99 against the Boston Red Sox. So 4-3 ground out sends us back to the top of the lineup, David Lieberman. I'm not trying to tell you guys how to play the game, but I hate to see someone come out here. You're taking time off work. You're out here to have fun. That's the first order of business. And you just don't want to see anybody get hurt. Lieberman grounds one foul, third base side. Escudero will make the play. So he's coaching down there at third base. Had a chance to talk to Gaston before the game. Seemed like an awfully nice guy, and I know he loves the game. He told me he loves surfing. And I told him I've always wanted to learn how.
0-2.
Lieberman has been a strikeout victim in each of his 2 at-bats. And that pitch outside, not a bad idea by Forbes. Maybe try to get Lieberman to expand his strike zone. 1-2, the count on, I think, one of the top leadoff hitters in the 45 Wood Cactus League. Angels would like to pick up an insurance run, which is standing at second base. 2 out, 2 strikes on Lieberman and pitching. And it's grounded foul. Forbes comes set in the 1-2 offering, and that one just high. Not too bad a pitch. There's Ronnie Stiegel now playing right field. The 2-2 pitch. High, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at second. Angels batting, leading by 3. And here's the payoff pitch to Lieberman. And he pops it up. On the infield, Ryder having trouble, and he makes the catch. A circle catch to retire the side. A fine defensive play. And the inning is over. We got 5 in the book from Maryvale. The Angels hanging on to a 3-run lead. And we'll be back from Maryvale Baseball Park in just a moment. Welcome back to Maryvale Baseball Park. And the first batter is going to be Herb Goodwin to start things off here in the top half of the 6th inning. And he's already down, no balls and 2 strikes. Goodwin flied out to right field. That was in the 3rd inning, and he goes that way again. But Lieberman this time will take care of business as he drifts out a few yards into the grass and right and hauls it in for out number 1. 3rd time up for leadoff hitter Buddy Graves. Graves is struck out. He is grounded to short. He's batting here in the top of the 6th inning. Trailing 5-2 to the Halo Angels. And Donald Colley now in his 6th inning of work for Rod Shipman's team. There's a wave and a miss. That was a good breaking pitch. A little sinking action. Well, Buddy Graves, he is the key to their success in this lineup. There's a swing and a miss. But he has went 0 for 3 here today, 2 down. And now the center fielder is Freddie Stewart. Stewart is grounded out. He is singled. Colley pitching a gem. You take away that 2nd inning where he hit the first 2 batters he faced. Well, actually, with 1 out, hit back-to-back hitters that would eventually lead to 2 runs. But you take those 2 hit batsmen out of the fray, and he's throwing a 2-hit shutout. Through 5 2/3 innings, he's given up 2 runs, 2 hits. Has struck out 2. He has walked 3. Excuse me, he has given up 3 hits. I didn't count the double by Yamamoto. Colley doing well, obviously his approach to getting Freddie Stewart out is away, away, away. And a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop, Aboitis, can he throw him out? Too much speed from Freddie Stewart, and that was a long ways to go. And that's going to go as an infield hit for the 2nd place hitter for the A's, keeping the 6th inning alive for Doug Thompson. First pitch inside for ball 1. Well, the wind has kicked up. You can kind of hear it rustling through our microphone that we've got down on the field. Thompson has hit a fly ball to center field. He has also walked in the ball game. Stewart a threat to steal at first base. Colley, I think, really wanted that pitch from the home plate umpire and did not get the call. He's ready with the next offering to Thompson. That one is fouled straight back. Here is a high fly ball into right field. Coming on is Torres. He's got it, and the inning is over. So we're heading to the home half of the 6th inning from Maryvale Baseball Park. And the Houston A's still trail the Angels 5-2. Ronnie Stiegel heads back out. Well, there's obviously a threat of rain in the air as you get a wide shot of Maryvale Baseball Park on a very gloomy day for our national pastime. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 to bat here for Rod Shipman's Halo Angels. Robert Aboitis, an RBI single and a run scored back in the 3rd, will start things off, and he fouls it back and out of play. No balls and a strike on Robert Aboitis. Forbes in his 6th inning of work. So both starters so far, quality innings. I think both managers have got to feel pretty good about their chances of going deep into this ball game. One of the keys going in. I mean, besides winning the ball game, I think, obviously, and we talk about budgeting the innings. You got 6 round-robin games in 4 days, and then if you make the playoffs, now you're talking 7, maybe 8 games, maybe as many as 9 if you go to a championship game, 9 games in 6 days if you go to the finals. And you're talking about 7 or 8 ball games as this one's grounded up the middle and into center field, base hit. So Robert Aboitis is now 2 for 3, a couple of base hits in the ball game, and now Fred Hayes, who had that long triple to right field in the 3rd inning, which scored Aboitis from first base, and he will bat for the 3rd time in the contest. So a leadoff single. That is the 3rd time that the Angels have had the leadoff hitter aboard through 6 innings. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and the Angels lead at 5-2. Hayes squares the bunt. Robert takes off for second. He's got the steal. So a successful stolen base. That is the 2nd stolen base of the day for the Angels. And I think Buddy Graves is leaving the ball game. So Buddy is out, and Brent DeVerne is in. I don't know if he got spiked or if he just pulled a muscle, but Brent DeVerne is now in at second base for the Houston A's. Runner at second with nobody out. We had to turn that microphone down. We were getting a lot of wind. There is a threat of rain in the air, but just as we say that, the sun is now peeking out. You can see the shadows around home plate. But the wind continues to whip probably about 10, 12 miles an hour. Pickoff move at second. The runner is back safe. Ronnie Stiegel patrolling right field for the Houston A's. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Angels looking to add on to a 5-2 lead. That pitch is low for a ball. And another pickoff move and a pretty good throw that time as DeVerne covers the bag from his second base position for the Houston A's. Hayes trying to drive in the second run of the ball game for him, and he may just have done it. Nope, it's going to be caught by Beebe, who has moved from third to shortstop. So soft, lazy pop-up right to the shortstop, 17. Grant Beebe. Thompson now, well, Thompson's been at third. And here's Raul. Raul is 0 for 2. fastball at the knees, and it's in there for a called strike. Forbes taking his time. Got Dan Williams and Escudero waiting. The next two hitters for the Angels. And a broken bat roller up the middle past the diving Beebe. Here comes the runner around third. The throw to the plate will not be in time. It's an RBI hit for Raul, his first hit of the contest. Produces a run, and it's a 4-run Halos lead. And he takes second on the throw by Yamamoto to the plate. So now Dan Williams is 0 for 2. Straight pitch, taken under the knees, ball 1. Williams is 0 for 2. He's played a good first base. He's made a couple of key plays over there. He bats with a runner at second. There is 1 out, 1 in. 6-2 Angels, bottom of the 6th. Pickoff move. This time Beebe doing that little, look like that, maybe that daylight play that you'll see teams use from time to time. Well, a good stop there by John Ryder. Now time is called. Forbes slowing down a little bit. You wonder if maybe Ronnie Stiegel will start getting somebody up, loosening up in that A's bullpen. Sounded like he called that a strike. Not sure. Here's the pitch. A called strike on the inside corner to Williams. To be honest, I'm not sure what the count is. That one is in the dirt. I would imagine it's got to be about 3-2 now on the first baseman, Dan Williams, with 1 out. And a ground ball foul. I would imagine Williams was trying to punch that ball where the shortstop had previously, the area that the shortstop previously occupied. That's outside, low and away for ball 4. That is the second walk issued by Forbes. Time is called at the plate as Gaston Escudero digs in. 7 hits now as Escudero drills one to straightaway center. Yamamoto makes the play. Here comes the runner tagging from second. He will make it to third without a throw. And there's 2 down in the inning as Escudero is retired on a ball that was, well, he hit it pretty hard, but hit it right in the tracks of the center fielder, Tracy Yamamoto. Now Donald Colley, the starting pitcher. And he hits a high chopper. Beebe charges it short. He throws low, and it gets by the first baseman, and that's going to allow the run to score. The ball is still in play. Here comes a throw to the plate, and not in time. 2 runs come in on a costly error by Beebe. And going all the way to third is Donald Colley. So it's a 3-run inning for the Angels. And now this marks their largest lead of the contest at 8-2. Here's Bill Torres. Torres has singled, he has walked, he has stolen a base, he's scored a run, he's made a couple of nice catches out in right field. He's got a runner at third and 2 out, and he swings and hits this one back and out of play. Ready with the next pitch. To the 8th place hitter in the lineup, and he grounds one. Beebe again, get back up on the horse, and he'll throw to first. Larson with the play. Inning over. After 6, the Angels lead the A's. The score, Angels 8, Houston 2. Well, we got a new pitcher as we go to the top of the 7th inning, and it's going to be right-hander Matt Schultz. And he'll be facing the heart of the lineup, starting with cleanup hitter Keith Larson, and then 5th place hitter Ronnie Stiegel, Bruce Jensen to follow. First pitch is high and away, ball 1. So close the book out on Donald Colley, 6 innings of 3-hit baseball. A 1-1 count on Keith Larson to start things off top of the 7th inning. Struck out 3 did Donald Colley. He walked 3, hit a couple of batters. Giving up 2 runs, and both runs were earned. So, well, a pretty nice performance there by Donald Colley. Game 2 of this 2010 World Series. Here's a smash into right field, base hit. So a nice greeting as Keith Larson drills a base hit, his first hit of the ball game. Now 1 for 3 on the day. And let's see if Ronnie Stiegel can get a rally going here for the A's. They now trail it by a score of 8-2 after 3 runs came across. He takes the first pitch, low and outside, ball 1. Stiegel was hit by a pitch in the second, came around to score. In fact, scored on the RBI hit by Fisher. And he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bruce Jensen is on deck. New pitcher, rocks and deals, and that one right down Main Street. And check that, the count is 1-2. Stiegel up there. And that ball hit him, and that is the second time he's been hit by a pitch today. So he will head down to first base. I'll tell you what, he's in a lot of pain. He's trying to shake it off. And he is still in a lot of pain down there at first base. He's got the old dead arm syndrome. So he is aboard. Well, that's huge. As if the A's have any conceivable chance of getting back into this game, they need to get it going right here, right now. Now Bruce Jensen. First pitch, outside, ball 1. So Donald Colley, the starter, 6 innings of 3-hit baseball, struck out 3, walked 3, 2 runs, and they were both earned. Inside. So Bruce way ahead in the count here as the A's are hoping to start a rally. Jensen out of Richmond, Texas. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. This could be a breakout inning here for the Houston A's, trailing by 6 in the top of the 7th. And that's high, ball 4. So Jensen, who got hit by a pitch in the second, popped up to the third baseman in the 4th, has just loaded the bases with a walk. And there is nobody out, and here's Grant Beebe. Called strike, it's 0-1. Beebe committed a costly 2-run error in the bottom of the 6th inning, comes up here in the top of the 7th with a chance to redeem himself to some degree. Beebe, a native of Boise, Idaho. One of the few Houston A's not from Texas. Right now, Matt Schultz feels like he's being squeezed by this home plate umpire. The bases are loaded with nobody out, and Beebe drives one deep left field. That ball's trouble. It soars over the left fielder's head. It's going all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Jensen to the plate. It's a 3-run double. The A's are right back in the game. It's 8-5. 3-run double that went sailing over the left fielder's head. Maybe the hardest hit ball we've seen all day long. And so Grant Beebe comes through in a big, big way. It is 8-5, and the batter is going to be Bennett Fisher. Bennett had an RBI single in the second. He grounded to short. So a rude welcoming for Matt Schultz. A single, a hit batsman, a walk, and a 3-run double. And still nobody out. Schultz with a long walk back to the pitcher's mound. And now digs in against Bennett Fisher. Beautiful pitch. Might have been a little outside. Schultz to the plate. Hammered to right field. It's in there. Let's see if this will score the run. It was kind of a line drive, and it didn't really give the runner a chance to get a good break on the ball. But Houston down 3, and now Rod Shipman is going to go out and talk to his new pitcher. We might see a change here. They got 7 warming up in the bullpen. Or is that 3? I think it might be number 3. That might be Spikerman down there warming up in the bullpen. Shipman is number 7. And that ball hit the batter. That's the second hit batsman. That is the 4th in the game by Angels pitching, and the bases are loaded again. Now Brent DeVerne. Houston trails by 3, but they put the tying run on. He's at first. DeVerne swings, lines one, left field, coming on. It gets by the left fielder. 1 run is going to score. Raul tracks it down, gets it back into the infield. Here's the throw to third. He's going to be in safe. Or did they call him out? Wow. They called him out. But 2 runs are going to score on a big, big 2-run single by Brent DeVerne. And now the shortstop is Sean Coleman. Five runs have scored in the inning now, and it's 8-6. Check that, 8-7. Sean Coleman batting in the 11A position for the Houston A's. He bounced out 6-3 back into third. The tying run is at second base. Coleman did not like that call. He felt that that was a little low. Coleman, he is making Matt Schultz work. Schultz has yet to retire anyone, even though there's 1 out. And that one is high and tight, and that's ball 4. And, well, I'll tell you, you wonder how long Rod Shipman is going to stick with Matt Schultz. And here he comes, and that's going to be a pitching change. And, in fact, it's going to be Shipman who's going to take over for him. So Schultz goes a third of an inning. He gives up 4 hits, and so far 5 earned runs. So the Houston A's are in business. They got 4 hits in the inning. They had 4 free passes thanks to Matt Schultz. Ronnie Stiegel, the outstanding manager, heads back to the Houston dugout, and they got a chance to come all the way back from an 8-2 deficit. And here's Herb Goodwin, who is 0 for 2. He's put the ball in the air in both plate appearances.